Hazel was in a hurry. She had a big smile on her face as she rushed around her room, trying to find her favorite dress. Today was a special day because it was her best friend Scarlett's birthday. Scarlett was turning 25, and Hazel wanted to make sure everything was perfect. "Where is that dress?" Hazel mumbled to herself, digging through her closet. Finally, she spotted it, hanging in the back. It was a beautiful blue dress that Scarlett had given her as a gift a few years ago. Hazel loved it because it made her feel confident and happy. With the dress in hand, Hazel quickly changed and glanced in the mirror. She wanted to look her best for Scarlett's party. Her brown hair was neatly tied in a ponytail, and she added a touch of lipstick to her lips. "Perfect," she thought, giving herself a nod of approval. Hazel grabbed her gift for Scarlett, a lovely bouquet of her favorite flowers, and rushed out of her apartment. She lived just a few blocks away from Scarlett's place, so she decided to walk. The sun was shining, and the birds were singing, making it a beautiful day for a birthday celebration. As she approached Scarlett's house, Hazel's heart started to race with excitement. She knew Scarlett would be surrounded by friends and family, and she couldn't wait to surprise her. They had been best friends since they were little girls, and their bond was unbreakable. Hazel rang the doorbell, and a moment later, Scarlett opened the door with a surprised look on her face. "Hazel! You're here early!" Scarlett exclaimed, her eyes lighting up with joy. "Happy birthday, Scarlett," Hazel said, handing her the bouquet of flowers. Tears of happiness welled up in Scarlett's eyes as she hugged Hazel tightly. "Thank you, Hazel. You always know how to make me feel special." The two friends spent the day together, laughing, reminiscing about old times, and enjoying the company of their loved ones. Hazel couldn't help but feel grateful for having such an amazing friend in her life. As the sun began to set, and the party was winding down, Hazel and Scarlett sat on the porch, sipping on their favorite drinks. They looked at the stars in the sky and made a wish together. Hazel wished for happiness and many more years of friendship with Scarlett, while Scarlett wished for her best friend to find love and happiness in her life too. Hazel and Scarlett's birthday party was in full swing. Music filled the air, and the house was alive with laughter and chatter. Everyone was having a great time, and Hazel couldn't help but smile as she watched Scarlett enjoy her special day. As Hazel looked around, her eyes landed on someone she hadn't seen before. He was a young man with a friendly smile, dancing to the beat of the music. His moves were smooth and confident, and he seemed to be having a blast. Curious, Hazel asked Scarlett, "Who's that guy dancing over there?" Scarlett followed Hazel's gaze and grinned. "Oh, that's our new neighbor, Jake. He just moved in a few weeks ago. He's really nice and friendly." Hazel was intrigued. She had never met their new neighbor before, and he looked like a lot of fun. Scarlett nudged her playfully. "Go say hi, Hazel. He's a great guy, and I think you'll like him." Hazel hesitated for a moment but then decided to give it a try. She made her way through the crowd, feeling a bit nervous. What if he didn't want to talk to her? What if she made a fool of herself? As she got closer to Jake, she took a deep breath and mustered up the courage to introduce herself. "Hi, I'm Hazel," she said with a warm smile. Jake turned toward her, still dancing, and grinned. "Hey there, Hazel. I'm Jake. Nice to meet you." They started chatting, and Hazel was pleasantly surprised by how easy it was to talk to him. They shared stories about their favorite movies, hobbies, and even their love for pizza. It felt like they had known each other for a long time. As the night went on, Hazel and Jake continued to dance and talk, growing closer with every moment. They laughed and danced like there was no one else in the room. Hazel couldn't help but feel a spark of something special between them. Scarlett noticed Hazel and Jake hitting it off and couldn't help but smile. She knew her best friend deserved happiness, and maybe, just maybe, this new neighbor could be the one to bring it into Hazel's life. As the party continued, Hazel and Jake found themselves enjoying each other's company more and more. They danced, talked, and laughed the night away, feeling a strong connection growing between them. Eventually, the time came when the party began to wind down, and some of the guests started saying their goodbyes. Jake turned to Hazel with a smile and said, "Hazel, I had a great time tonight. Would you like a ride home? I've got my car here." Hazel's heart skipped a beat. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She hadn't expected this invitation, but she couldn't deny that she wanted to spend more time with Jake. "Sure, Jake, that sounds nice," she replied with a shy smile. They said their goodbyes to Scarlett and the other guests, and Jake led Hazel to his car. It was a cozy and comfortable ride, with a soft hum of the engine and the quiet hum of conversation filling the air. As they drove through the city streets, Jake and Hazel talked about their favorite places, their dreams, and their families. The night seemed magical, and Hazel couldn't help but think that this was the beginning of something special. When they arrived at Hazel's apartment building, Jake parked the car and turned to her with a warm smile. "I had a wonderful time, Hazel. Thanks for letting me drive you home." Hazel blushed, feeling a sense of happiness she hadn't felt in a long time. "Thank you, Jake. I had a great time too." Before she got out of the car, Jake leaned in and gave her a gentle kiss on the cheek. It was a sweet and tender gesture that left Hazel with a fluttering feeling in her heart. As she walked to her apartment, Hazel couldn't stop smiling. She knew that tonight was the start of something beautiful, something she hadn't expected when she rushed to Scarlett's birthday party earlier in the evening. The days following Scarlett's birthday party were filled with excitement and anticipation for Hazel. She couldn't stop thinking about Jake and the wonderful connection they had shared that night. With her heart racing, Hazel decided it was time to take a chance. One sunny afternoon, she sat down with her phone and composed a message to Jake. "Hi Jake. I had such a great time at Scarlett's party, and I was wondering if you'd like to go on a movie date with me sometime? Let me know if you're interested." Hazel hesitated for a moment before pressing the send button. She knew that asking someone out could be nerve-wracking, but she also knew that life was too short to let opportunities slip away. Minutes later, her phone buzzed with a message from Jake. "Hi Hazel. I had an amazing time too. A movie date sounds like a fantastic idea. When are you free?" Hazel couldn't help but smile as she typed her reply, "How about this Saturday evening? We can catch a movie and grab some dinner afterward?" Jake's response was quick and enthusiastic. "Saturday it is. I'm looking forward to it." Hazel felt a rush of happiness as she put her phone down. She couldn't believe how easy it had been to ask Jake out, and she was excited about their upcoming date. As the days passed, Hazel and Jake exchanged messages about their movie date plans. They chose a romantic comedy, a genre they both enjoyed, and made dinner reservations at a cozy restaurant nearby. When Saturday evening finally arrived, Hazel felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. She carefully chose her outfit, wanting to look her best for their date. As she walked to the movie theater, she couldn't help but smile at the thought of spending the evening with Jake. When she saw him waiting outside the theater, her heart skipped a beat. He looked just as handsome as she remembered from Scarlett's party, and his smile put her at ease. The movie was filled with laughter and shared popcorn, and the dinner that followed was a delightful experience filled with good food and even better conversation. Hazel and Jake talked about their favorite movie moments, shared childhood stories, and dreams for the future. As the night drew to a close, Hazel realized that her decision to message Jake had been the best she had ever made. She had taken a chance, and it had led to a wonderful evening with someone who had quickly become more than just a neighbor. He had become someone special in her life. It was a bright Sunday afternoon when Hazel's phone rang, interrupting her quiet day at home. She picked up to hear Scarlett's trembling voice on the other end. "Hazel," Scarlett said, her voice filled with worry, "I have some terrible news. Jake had a car accident last night, and he's in the hospital. It's really serious, Hazel." Hazel's heart sank, and she felt her whole world shatter in an instant. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. Jake, the man she had just shared a magical date with, was now fighting for his life. Tears welled up in her eyes as she listened to Scarlett explain the situation. Without a second thought, Hazel rushed to the hospital, her heart heavy with fear and sadness. She couldn't bear the thought of Jake being hurt, especially after their wonderful time together. When she arrived at the hospital, she was met with a whirlwind of emotions. Scarlett was there to comfort her, and they both hurried to the intensive care unit where Jake was being treated. As they entered the room, Hazel's heart ached at the sight of Jake lying in the hospital bed, his face pale and bandaged. The machines around him beeped rhythmically, monitoring his vital signs. He looked so vulnerable, and it tore at Hazel's heart to see him in this state. Jake's eyes opened when he heard Hazel's soft sobs. Weakly, he smiled, relieved to see her by his side. Scarlett quietly excused herself, leaving the two of them alone. Hazel sat down beside Jake, her tears falling onto his hand as she held it gently. "Oh, Jake, I was so scared. I thought I might lose you," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. Jake mustered up all his strength to speak, his voice soft but filled with warmth. "I'm going to be okay, Hazel. The doctors say I'll recover." He paused, taking a shallow breath. "I'm so glad you're here." Hazel leaned in, her heart pounding with emotion. "Jake, I need you to know something. I love you. I realized it after our date, and I can't imagine my life without you now." Tears welled up in Jake's eyes as he looked into Hazel's. "Hazel, I love you too. I've been falling for you since the moment we met." Their words hung in the air, sealing a bond that was stronger than ever. In that hospital room, surrounded by uncertainty, they had found something precious, the love they had both been searching for. As the days passed, Jake's condition improved, and he was eventually released from the hospital. Hazel and Jake faced life's challenges together, knowing that their love was a powerful force that could overcome anything. Their love story had begun with a dance, a chat, and a movie date, but it was in that hospital room that they truly discovered the depth of their feelings for each other. They had weathered a storm and emerged stronger, ready to face whatever the future held, hand in hand.